The Hyperkin Retron Sq just released. This is Hyperkin's new Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advance in beta mini system here that plays original cartridges. I was really excited to check this thing out. Is it supposed to be square or SQ? I guess they're going for square because it's a little cube. Maybe they could have called it Retron Cube. That would have been kind of cool. But yeah, this came out the other day. Stock issues abound. I'm not sure what's going on. I canceled my Amazon pre-order that I had on day one because it just never seemed like it was gonna ship. Now it's just third-party sellers jacking up the price. Hyperkin's website is out of stock. I don't know what's going on there. I ordered this from Hyperkin. I did finally get it from them today. Now, I know there were some early reviews, impressions of this thing. I did get that email saying if I wanted a review unit to respond. I never did, just ordered it directly from them. And I'm glad I waited so I can test this thing out with the new firmware update. So that was the issue, some of the reviews, I guess. I don't watch reviews on products that I'm planning on reviewing because I want to go into it fresh, but I know there were some issues brought up. So I tested this out, stock firmware, and then I did update it. So that's where we're at. I want to share my experiences, give you guys kind of my first impressions here. But here's the box: HD gaming console, Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advance in beta. I've seen that they've brought up like, hey, you know, community-driven, you know, activity with this to add software and to do all sorts of things. I hope they're not relying on the community to get Game Boy Advance working properly on this, because right now, just have to say, Game Boy Advance, it's not even worth buying this thing for Game Boy Advance. There's tons of options out there to play Game Boy Advance cartridges, be it original hardware or some, you know, different things like the GameCube Game Boy player, which is original hardware. There's modifications to make consoles like the GBA consolizer, and then some new stuff that's not even out yet. That's plug and play, no soldering, nothing. Talking about this in the future. Might look like a Game Boy consolizer, but it's not. Something different, but similar. No modding. Talk about this another time. Kind of interesting, but I don't know. We're talking about this damn thing today. So I did get the Hyper Beach Edition. Let's go ahead and open this damn thing up. When I first got this, I was like, this is a nice little hefty box. But the Hyper Beach Edition, it's pretty similar in color scheme to the new Retron 5, which does the same thing this does, but this actually does more. And I'm not even talking about that it does more with Genesis, Super Nintendo, and NES and all that. I'm just saying this does more with Game Boy than this does. This is twice the price of this, and you get like 100 times more things you could do with it. I don't know what's going on here, but also stolen emulators, I guess, with this, non-commercial use, whatever. You know, it is what it is with that part. This is all open source stuff that they got going on. I'm just hoping they don't rely on the community to fix this thing. But here it is. I first got this, I thought, man, this thing looks awesome. Look at this little cube. Then I noticed there's some like little boogers on the inside of this thing. I don't know what's up. What are you guys doing? Blow this shit out before you assemble it. But yeah, maybe eventually I'll open it up. USB port on the front for controller reset and power. Cartridge slot for Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance. Some screws on the side. 4:3:16:9 aspect ratio switch. Stretch that bish out if you want. HDMI output, USB Type-C for power, and then a little tiny 512 megabyte memory card that has all the software and whatnot. And that's how you update this thing. So there's that. Pretty neat looking little console. I thought it looks nice, other than a couple little boogers on the inside of the thing. Damn it. What the hell's going on here? We get a few things in the box. Take a quick look at this. Here we go. I think this one, yeah, the bigger one is the controller, which I really like. Gots to be honest with you, I do really like the Hyperkin Super Nintendo style controllers. So there is that. They feel really nice and whatnot. The top two buttons they're like turbo for Game Boy and whatnot. But there you go, USB, long ass 10-foot cord. You got lots of space. There's supposed to be a dongle you could buy separately to pair Bluetooth controllers with it, but I do not have one of those. We also get a HDMI cable that I'm not gonna use because I have a million HDMI cables. Get this little ass box with power supply and cable, our USB-C power supply. We're gonna plug this thing in. I did capture footage on the PC to give you guys some comparisons and whatnot. That way you guys can understand what I'm talking about. We are gonna, you know, pop it up on there as well. But here we go. Got our power supply. We're gonna plug this thing in. Let's get that going. Let's get the HDMI cable plugged into this little guy. I love the idea behind this thing. I just don't like how little there is going on with it. And that Game Boy Advance might as well have not even been brought up with this thing. Like, why even bother? And my big fear, to be honest with you, with this little system here is the Retron 5. That thing came out in 2014. Oh, by the way, the only other things you get in there is like a little sticker, thank you card. You're welcome. I did pay like $80 with tax to get this shipped. A Hyperkin sticker. If you can put that on the back of your car, instruction manual, whatever. Nobody cares. The instruction manual doesn't really say anything. Doesn't say anything at all. It just says plug in the game and turn it on and shut up. But what was I saying? Holy crap. But, you know, $75, $80, whatever for this thing. And it, out of the box, the stock firmware is just garbage. It had like a blurring effect, smoothing. I don't know why all these companies think people want shit smooth. Like, not stock. Like, give that as an option, okay? Give it as an option. If I want it smoothed, I'll smooth it. If I want it sharp-ass pixels, that's, you know, a selection. But with this thing, it's so bare bones with what you could do with it, it's ridiculous. There's pretty much nothing going on here versus the Retron 5, which is twice the price. And like I said, has a million times more things you could do. This thing, my God. So it just loads the game. That's all it does. You don't have any options. You can't load patches, not as of yet. Maybe eventually the community will come up with some kind of software for it. Maybe Hyperkin will listen to people and manipulate this thing. I don't know. Look at how long. Just Super Mario Land 2. Did it even read it? Did it even read the cart? I don't know. Sometimes these carts don't even frickin' play. And some of these carts, they hell a long time to load, especially Game Boy Advance games aren't even worth playing. But you just plug it in, the game loads, and you play it. There's no save backups, there's no patch loading, there's no anything. There's the loading screen there. It's just play the game. No special options here. For 75 bucks for an emulation machine, we got that stretch the shiz out. This is with the new firmware. We can, boom, bloop it back down to what they say is the original aspect ratio for Game Boy. They fixed that over the stock firmware. So let's go ahead and get into this. So here we go. I think with the new firmware, everything looks great for original Game Boy games, but I can't figure out, like, with some of them with the color palettes, like you can't really change color palettes or anything. I said, it's very bare bones. There's no options with this thing. It's kind of unfortunate. Like, I didn't know 100% how this was gonna work. Like I said, I didn't watch any videos beforehand, but I thought this was gonna be like the Retron 5, but just Game Boy games, you know, like still have those same options, but it's just not. It's all these open source licenses for the emulators and the software they're using, and just no options for you to manipulate anything. Just not stock, not right now anyway. The games play okay. Game Boy Advance games, on the other hand, I know they say it's in beta, but my God, it is horrible. The games take a year to load. Just first off, they take forever. Some games take a couple minutes, some games take a minute, 3 minutes. It's ridiculous. I wonder if I haven't tested this game out, Smashing Drive, on this system. The newer Retron 5, I can't get that cart to work, but it worked but crashed on the previous version. When I plug it into a Game Boy Advance or the Game Boy player, it runs perfectly fine. It's a 3D Game Boy Advance game, very demanding. No idea if it's gonna load on this thing. But overall, I mean, for 75 bucks, I think the price is fair for what I thought this was going to be. But after the fact, getting it and messing around with it with the newer firmware, I don't think it's worth it, to be honest with you. For twice the price, if this is something you're into, game's not gonna load. I'm not even gonna bother with that one. You might as well just get a Retron 5 if that's something you're into. But this is just, it is no bueno. No bueno for what it is. I mean, I just wish with this being an emulation device that plays original cartridges, I wish we had the same options as the Retron 5. I think the Retron 5 gets a bad rap, mainly because of Hyperkin. I mean, how many times have they updated it since it's been out for like 7 years? Only a couple times. A lot of games don't run on it. The emulators that they shouldn't have sold with it, that kind of thing. There's all sorts of reasons that got hate, but I think it's an okay device. For me right now, this seems like something that they're just hoping the community will fix and get going for people. I don't know if that's gonna happen. Like how many people are really gonna jump into developing for this thing to, you know, have people interested in buying a Hyperkin product? I don't really foresee that being a big thing. I may be wrong, I don't know, but I just don't see there being a big community of people wanting to do the work for Hyperkin. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong. But right now, after spending the $80 for this thing, I'm not gonna use it. I'm just being honest with you. If it had save backups and all that kind of stuff, I would. Game Boy games and whatnot, they play fine. Just those Game Boy Advance games, garbage, man. But yeah, if it had more options, I would use it. But as it stands right now, and just play your game and that's it, no, I'm not good with that with an emulation device. Like, where's the save states? Where's, you know, the save backups, the scan lines, borders? You know, we have no options with this. I don't even need some of that stuff, but at least something, you know what I mean? But there you go. My initial impressions are, I'm not impressed. I think it's a neat idea, but right now, I'm gonna have to wait. Give it a while. Maybe things will change. Maybe Hyperkin will update this thing and make it a pretty slick device. Maybe they just won't. I don't know. It's hard to say. But if that happens, I'll revisit it and see if it's something I want to use. But right now, it's just not. Appreciate you guys. Big ass blurry thumb button in your face. Peace out, bye-bye, and boom.